Knowing how Jayla grew up, knowing her shit, and knowing that she's always been that way, I can't be mad at that. You know, we gotta respect each other and how we, you know, we grew up, right? So like, I get it. If you're triggering Jayla, you know, you're wrong. But it is
Jayla's face
every time.
Say it again. Say it again. When she pulled her hair. You want to say it again? Like, yo, her face.
She gets tight.
Like, yo, why do you look like?
This the kind of beat to go. This the kind of beat to go. This the kind of beat to go. Rock, top, top.
Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters. Of course, we're bringing you another Baddies motherfucking recap. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jessie Strange.
And we have a shitload of things to say.
To unpack.
A lot of
today.
things to unpack. We're going to be covering episodes 3 and 4
Yep.
in this episode. So it's just a lot. This season so far has just been a shit show. Every single episode.
Mm-hmm.
Every single episode.
We haven't even established yet who the official girls are.
Right. And it's so many girls.
Yep.
And notice how we don't got to wait till the end of the episode to see the next fight anymore.
No.
It's just like 5 fights breaking out in one episode.
Because there's so many.
It's so many bitches. It's so much beef. It's so much drama.
Yeah.
And it's organic.
It doesn't feel like
forced.
last season where everybody was specifically chosen because of their beef.
Right. But last season, it always felt like they met up and then they fought. Like this season, it really feels like, yo, they just on go.
Yeah.
These bitches are on go. And so we're gonna take it back to episode 3.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about 3 because that was a pretty controversial episode.
Very controversial episode.
And then
okay,
we'll cover 4.
Then we'll cover 4, which just dropped tonight. Today is Sunday.
Yeah, guys. Why don't you hit the like button and show us some love? Because guess what? It's Sunday and this episode is going out on Tuesday.
Yeah,
we're grinding.
It's a lot
for y'all. We want to be a part of the conversation and we want to hear what y'all gotta say. So do me a favor and hit that like button.
We'll give y'all 10 seconds. Go. All right, we're done. So yeah, I got my little Caribbean colors on. I'm repping my flag, my Jamaican flag. You feel me? Talk about Baddies Caribbean. So here we are.
And I got my little linen on. I'm feeling the Caribbean vibes.
It's nice, a little pink or whatever. You on the island and shit.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so of course, you know, episode 2 ends off on Natalie brings the girls to the house, and after Biggie and Jayla have their little altercation and Biggie cries, the new girls come and it's lit, but then some of them got beef.
Yeah.
So then Meatball is like, this bitch Gretch is talking shit.
Yeah, apparently Gretch and Meatball had beef prior.
Right.
Something like that.
So as soon as Gretch walks in, she didn't even get a hello. Like, I personally feel like she came in there with good energy and was hyped because, of course, they all came in there like, hey, I'm ready to turn up, right? It's Baddies Caribbean. You know, why not? We're in Barbados.
Right.
So as soon as Gretch walks through the door, Meatball swings.
Yeah, she swings.
I'm like, damn, she didn't even like get a chance.
Yeah.
It was wild.
That shit was crazy. And then they was arguing back and forth.
Then Tinkerbella and Diamond the Body had their fight right after that.
Yeah, it kind of just all happened
at once. It was just so crazy.
Yeah.
So they had their little rounds. It was wild. I don't know. I think Tinkerbella won, but people are saying that Diamond the Body kind of like,
well, because she got that one good punch on her face, like on her lip.
Right. But like, other than that, it's like, girl, like,
I mean, Diamond the Body lost in the auditions.
Yeah.
And then she again lost. I mean, in my opinion, she lost on the episode 2. I mean,
in
3
my
as well.
opinion too, she did lose, but some people are like, she went mink, mink, mink to her head. So like, you know, everybody's different. I don't know. I don't know.
There was also a lot going on.
It was a lot going on.
I feel like you gotta really watch.
Yeah, but when she rushed her and got her to the ground out the door. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, that was crazy. I was like, wow, these girls are fighting.
Yo, Tink was killing me, bro.
Yo,
she was
she's
making
funny.
me laugh. She
She's
was
funny.
being a comedian.
She said, I put you in a headlock. Headlock. I was like, wow, this bitch is crazy. This bitch is really crazy. I saw on Twitter, somebody said she looked like a Nigerian auntie bleaching, and I couldn't unsee it. I was like, that's exactly what she looked like. She looked like she off the boat, Nigeria or freaking Jamaica, and she bleaching. She looked like that. Like,
yeah,
she
her
do.
skin looked like
Two-tone.
Yeah,
Two-tone.
yeah. It's kind of wild.
It is kind of wild, but I'm like, she's funny. I like her.
She's funny.
I'm not gonna lie. I like these new girls.
Yeah, the new girls are
They're real.
They're not so Hollywood.
Yeah,
It's
like
kinda cool.
It's nice. It's refreshing.
For
it's
sure.
really refreshing. But
then right, so then we get back to the Meatball and Gretch fight, and in that argument,
Gretch is basically explaining the situation as to what happens between her and Meatball, and now this is where we discuss the elephant in the room.
yeah, okay.
So
Can we preface
let's
this
intro
conversation?
it. Let's intro it
Okay.
first before we preface anything.
Okay.
I guess because Gretchen and Meatball had beef, Meatball rushed her as soon as Gretch walked into the house. Now, after their little fight, Gretch is explaining what just happened, because people are like, what just happened? What just happened? Oh my God. So Gretch is explaining it, talking about, I don't even know this girl. I don't know my nigga. And then all hell breaks loose.
So that's what the controversy of the episode is on. The conversation got crazy in the comments.
Yes.
And now I want to preface before we continue the conversation. I would love to have a adult conversation where we are open-minded to hearing both sides.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to just have an open conversation. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? And respect each other's opinions. And I feel like that's really the main thing. We have to respect people's opinions. And so yeah, all right. So that, I guess, do you wanna? It pissed Jayla off.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Jayla, yeah. So in the beginning, you know, as she's explaining the story, she's just like, I don't know, my nigga, I don't know, da 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 da. That is what she said.
And mind you,
and in the beginning, if we're really gonna be real, Scotty and the Claremont twins didn't even care. They were still responding to her like, oh, but what beef did you have with Meatball?
Right. It didn't even dawn on them.
It didn't even dawn on them. But when she kept saying it, then Jayla's like, yeah, did you just say that? So it was like a whole thing. So then it got crazy.
Yeah, because then Aubrey started saying, oh, that's racist. We have a racist in the house.
Aubrey said we have a racist in the house. And we're going to get to that. But we're just going to explain what happened. So then, of course, all hell breaks loose after that. Jayla's going off. Slim Too Bad, that girl rushes her. Then fucking Dia rushes her. And then Meatball and her are still fighting. So it's like these girls practically jumped her at this point. They jumped her. The girls jumped her. And then, of course, Jayla is upset because Gretch keeps saying it. Yeah. Even after apologizing, she kept saying it. Yeah. But at some point, the girls weren't really giving her any room to really talk and defend herself. They were just kind of like, you said the N-word, blah, 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 whatever. So then after that, Gretch and Jayla fight again, where Gretch bites Jayla on her chest. A deep, deep, deep cut wound.
Yeah, like bite.
Flesh came off.
Yeah. Like ugly bite.
Like that shit will be a scar for the rest of her life.
Yeah, for sure. When Gretchen was explaining herself, Jayla just basically cut her off and said, you know, you're not allowed to say that because Gretchen is light-skinned Puerto Rican. Right. And as Jayla's telling her she can't say the N-word, Gretchen said, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And that is what pissed her off even more, because all these girls are saying the same thing and she didn't care. And then she kept saying the N-word, and then it just got worse. And I think that's they all jumped her. Right. Because they got pissed off.
Right. So are you ready to talk about this?
Yeah.
Is Gretchen wrong for saying the N-word? That is the big question. Is Gretchen wrong for saying the N-word? I'm going to just start off by saying, if y'all letting Smiley say it, if y'all letting Mariah Lynn say it, who is literally a white Puerto Rican, blue eyes, blonde hair. Look at her baby pictures. She looked like a bland white chick with brunette hair.
By the way, I was today years old when I found out she was actually Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
I thought she was white.
Right. And it's like, there are literal tweets, and I'm going to pull up these tweets.
Oh, you got receipts?
Of Mariah saying the N-word, but she said it multiple times before, and no one batted an eye. No one said anything.
Yeah.
She literally, these are tweets from Mariah Lynn's account on Twitter, where she says, come Monday, I officially own my own foreign car that I purchased myself. No nigga, no income tax, just my hard-earned money. Then there's another freaking tweet where she said, niggas be swimming in their feelings. And then there's another tweet that says, when a female fuck with a real nigga, she will sleep alone before she let another man be in his spot. So it's a lot of tweets, and we'll show it here too, but I'm only going to read those 3. Right. But there's a lot of tweets where she basically says the N-word, but like in the slang version, not the hard R. But it's just like, okay, if you guys are letting Mariah Lynn say it, you guys are letting Smiley say it, where's that same energy for them?
100%.
So now to me, what it looks like, unfortunately, it looked like they bullied her. It really looked like they jumped her to me. Because I just feel like, damn, like, I get it. I understand the whole, I don't give a fuck part. Like, all right, girl, you're wildin'. But they really rushed that girl.
They did. They didn't even give her a chance to explain herself.
And I feel like, I wonder how it would have been if she could actually fight.
Yeah.
100%. I wonder how the outcome would have been if she was bigger.
If she wasn't small, exactly.
If she was bigger and she can actually fight. Because then what would I know Jayla would still do something, but sometimes I just wonder, because she's so little, you see that a lot of these girls, I feel like also they hopped on a bandwagon because no one reacted until Jayla said something.
And Scotty too. Scotty says the N-word, and she's, I mean,
that too.
She's white passing.
She is white passing. And it's like, people are like, oh, but she got a black dad, da-da-da-da-da. But that's the point. Jayla, when she went on her little rant in her speech, she was like, if your parents aren't black, you can't say it, right? So that was the whole concept. But I just feel like, you know how many people have come on the internet and complain about Scotty saying the N-word? No one says anything. But I feel like, you know, I've met a lot of people that look like Gretch that literally have black parents.
Yeah.
And this is not excusing nothing, but I'm just saying that being black is like a spectrum. And I feel like sometimes there's a lot of ignorance when you don't look the part. Which is what Biggie said in the most recent episode. Like, if you don't look the part at this point, don't say it.
Right.
You know? I feel like that's where we come. But I just think it's interesting because for me, I feel like there's a lot of people contradicting themselves 100%. On that show. 100%. You cannot get upset with Gretch, but then let Mariah Lynn say it, let Smiley say it, and even Scotty, if you really want to take it there, because she don't look the part.
Exactly.
She don't look the part. So I just feel like it's a lot of favoritism, and I don't like that. And I really wonder how the conversation would have went if Gretch was big and if she could fight. I really wonder how the conversation would have went. I really do. So I just feel like, yeah, I get it. She shouldn't have been like, oh, I don't give a fuck, da 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 da, I'm gonna say it. But back in 2008, the same people to this day claiming that, oh, you can't say the N-word. Back in 2008, you didn't give a fuck when your Puerto Rican friend was saying it. You didn't give a fuck when your Chinese friend was saying it. Listen, back in the days, y'all did not care. So where's this newfound energy coming from? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it like, what is it?
And you know, with Jayla, like, it's always been a thing. And that's one thing I want to cover. So back in 2015, when she was on Bad Girls Club, she got mad at another girl who said the N-word. So I'm going to play that real quick for y'all.
We're in the limo, and Lauren's singing a song, and she decides to drop the N-word. I don't really like the fact that Lauren drops the N-word. Even if it is a part of a song, she's getting too comfortable. Lauren, what the hell are you thinking? I'm about to have to really show you how I get down. Lauren, if you don't learn how to shut your mouth, I'm going to pop you in it.
You're right, and you can't say that's what the it comes down to, bitch. You are right, and you cannot say. And the next time you say, I'm out of you. And what the you gonna do, bitch?
I can say that, like, you know what, Jayla's always had a thing from that,
right,
like, about the N-word, and it also comes from, and this is important, where Jayla's from, right? She grew up in Georgia, and I'm going to play a clip of her talking about her background.
Because Lauren and I are both from a very racist place. We're both from Georgia. And we both lived, I think Lauren may actually be from Covington, Georgia. I'm not from Covington, Georgia, but I lived out there. And it's very racist. And I had friends that were white, and we could be friends at school, but we couldn't be friends outside of school because somebody in their family may have been a part of the KKK or may have been very racist. So for me and her to come from that same place, and for us to kind of have that same not really the same reality, because everyone's reality is different, but you get what I'm saying? For us to have that commonality of knowing where we were both from, like, you can drive down the street and see slave plantations. Like, you can see the slave house across the street from my old middle school.
So I feel like this is an important conversation, right? Because, you know, everybody has their opinion on the N-word, and, you know, the comments were going crazy, and it was kind of annoying to see, you know, the polar opposites and not being able to see what the actual middle ground is. And the middle ground is, you got to understand that where people come from, right, makes that opinion. It creates that opinion. So using Jayla as the example, she comes from or lived in a very racist place in the South, right? And we know how the South is. They're just very different. I'm not from the South. So I'm from the city. I'm from East Coast. And a lot of people like 6ix9ine, Big Pun, all these people, DJ Khaled, like all these people who say the N-word and are light-skinned passing, and they're Puerto Rican or they're Latino, right? And they come from the city, and a lot of Black folk who come from the city, they're used to seeing Puerto Ricans and all these Latinos say the N-word because
they grew up.
It's culturally, it's in the culture, right? Like, especially when you're in the city and you come from like Brooklyn or in Queens, it's not a derogatory word, especially if you're not saying with the R, you're saying with the A, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So culturally, it's two different perspectives. Meanwhile, people from the South, especially, you know, I seen people in the comments, especially from the South, they was like, no, it's disrespectful. We shouldn't be saying it even as a community. Even Black people shouldn't be saying it, which I understand as well, because I don't know what it's like to be Black in the South. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand both sides, right? And I just feel like if y'all ever been to Puerto Rico, it's really and literally like Harlem, New York, you know? And Harlem, New York, if you've never been there, is Black and Latinos. And not for nothing, that doesn't justify anything, because at the end of the day, I think Gretchen was wrong when they voiced how uncomfortable they were, and they're all Black.
Kept saying it.
And you just said, I don't give a fuck, and kept saying it. I think it was the lack of respect from then on that kind of was like, okay, you deserve to get your ass beat. Yeah. Right? Because you don't know what these girls' traumas been through. You don't know what they've been through. Like, you know, Black people experience shit differently. Right. So it's like, you don't know what you might have triggered for them. However, I just feel like the same way we give people from the South that grace, the South needs to understand that we different out here in the cities. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to justify anything.
Well, I just, you know, part of me feels like, okay, I understand their feelings, but for them to call her racist, I feel like it was a big reach. And I'm just going to say that. Like, me personally, I felt like it was a big reach. You know how, like, people like to say everything is fatphobic or everything is homophobic? So I feel like to call her racist was a reach, in my opinion.
Right. And also, why? This is the same thing people do with TikTok clips, right? Like, our TikTok clips, if you clip it a certain way, it's going to sound crazy. And you don't get the full context. Guys, context always matters. And I feel like when you look at the context in which she said the N-word, it's not like she said anything in a derogatory way.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like to me it wasn't racist because it's not like she said anything with the hard R. So,
or it called them anything like, oh, you're acting like, or, you know what I'm saying? She just said my N-word.
Right. She just said my nigga and that was it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like for people to drag it, and again, I think it's fair for everyone to have their opinion on it, but people bring up valid points. Like, for example, I'm going to bring up an example, and this was said by a fellow Black YouTube creator. Okay, so I'm just repeating other people's opinions here, which I agreed with because I wanted to hear the community's opinions, right? And, you know, this guy on YouTube, he was saying, you know, can we really be mad when the Black community uses it amongst themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have songs, you have all these things, and you want to take like the F word in the gay community, because I'm not going to speak on the Black community. At the end of the day, I'm not dark skinned, whatever. No one's going to take my opinion, I think, they're not going to validate it. So I'm going to tell you something. I'll give you an example where I can relate, in a sense, the F word in the gay community, right? You're not hearing songs that say the F word on a daily. You're not hearing the F word at all, really, because it's a derogatory term. Even the D word, dyke, if none of y'all know what I'm talking about. I think it's a derogatory term. Some people don't, and that's fine. But you don't see songs being made like that. You don't see the community calling each other that. And I feel like also that's also important, right? Like, the lines get blurred. And not for nothing, when you travel outside, you go to Cuba, you go to Puerto Rico, they say the N-word in their communities like literally like it's normal. It's not of anything, because at the end of the day, you know, minorities, they're minorities.
Yeah, but I feel like in that sense, the community, I feel like we've gotten to a point where the community is allowed to say it within their community. Like, right. You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's one of those things where we took back the word that had derogatory origins and we said, fuck it, like, we're going to make it our own. And we took back that power. Now you're no longer allowed to say that. But, you know, a lot of people believe that, you know, that should only be directed to white people only.
Right.
Given the history, given, you know, the origins of how the word came about, I feel like because white people created that and it's going back, this is just the truth, going back to the history and the origins, people feel like maybe that energy should only be targeted towards them and not people that actually are like, you know, could possibly or have some type of mixed like Black blood, because Puerto Rico is a mix, but yeah. I do understand there are some white Puerto Ricans that are white, like Mariah Lynn. So I don't know. I don't like the fact that people started digging up Gretch's family photos and then started digging up Scotty's family photos. It was just kind of extra. And then Anna Mac dropped her because they wanted to see too. Anna Mac's father.
And she says the N-word too.
Yeah, and she is Afro-Latina. So I was like surprised that people even brought up Anna Mac, but whatever. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like me personally, in today's world, anybody who's light-skinned now, it's like, oh, are you Black?
Yeah.
And it's very ignorant, knowing damn well that Black is a spectrum. I have seen, you know, this Black woman make a child with this white guy, and the child came out white looking. But the mother was full Black, dark skin. So it's like, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you really just can't tell sometimes, because genetics is very tricky.
Yeah, and I get it. When you see somebody, like, let's just say from Long Island, white guy from Long Island,
right,
who's never been culturally around, like, you know, like, you're not from the hood, you're not from none of that, and it's like you saying that,
like, Gretch is from the hood,
and even sounds weird when it rolls off their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That, I feel like those people deserve that type of energy. But I feel like, and I speak from this because it's like, I'm Latina, right? And I'm light skinned. So I just feel like I hear this conversation a lot. And Latinos are fucking mixed. You know that, right? Like, you know, we're not a race. Like, there is no race. When you fill out the form, there is no Latino race. It's either Black, white, and I don't even know what the rest
they
is.
Say Hispanic or non-Hispanic. Yeah. That's what that
but
part is.
We're all mixed, because at the end of the day, indigenous people were, you know, R-worded by the Spaniards, and you know, we were mixed in there, and that's how you get all that, right? That's how you get the mixture of us. We're not a real race. So I don't know. I just think it's it brought up a lot of ignorance in the conversation, which is why I wanted to have an open conversation. And again, I want to hear y'all opinions on that, because at the end of the day, I think it's unfortunate that people get so riled up with their feelings that they can't have a conversation about it. And it's annoying, because it's so controversial that people are like automatically deem it, oh, you're racist if you say she's allowed to have, say the N-word.
I don't know. I just feel like calling her racist was a reach.
It was definitely a reach.
It was a reach in my opinion. I was like, what the fuck?
But that was it, right? Like that was the whole thing. The whole house was against her.
The
whole house stopped liking Gretch.
Yeah.
And it kind of ended on that, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's literally how the last episode ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next episode, the most recent episode, we see a lot of shit. We see some wholesome shit. We see some organic shit. And then we just see some chaotic shit towards the end. Towards the end. I don't know why there are so many girls.
Yo.
So many replacements. I don't know who's who.
The last episode ended with the Claremont twins and all of them going into the pool party.
That's right. Yes. And then they had a great time.
Claremont twins. Yo, first of all, am I the only one that finds it weird that these girls are sisters and they be titty loving each other?
That's what a lot of people say. A lot of people are like, I find it weird that they like kiss each other, right. Like they do shit and all that stuff.
I have a sister and I don't know. It's that, listen, y'all gotta be built different to kiss your own sister.
That's how they make their money, but
good
I don't
for
know
them.
If they got used to it. I don't know, but yeah, so it seems like that's why they were there. They played their part and that was it.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next episode, beginning, we see the recap, and then after that, the girls are recapping on what happened last night. Fucking Natalie and Scotty and Sapphire are talking, and it is so fake. It feels so fake, their conversation. It feels like that typical Hollywood stage scene where it's like, okay, let's set you guys up to talk and da-da-da-da. Yeah. Whatever, that's what it felt like.
It's mad funny because all three of them had the fan, and if you've rented an Airbnb in the islands, know they promote it with AC, but the only place there's AC is in that damn room. Everywhere else in that damn house is hot.
So, they talk about the whole situation with Gretch. Sapphire still talks about this sad storyline with Bianca. Like,
not for nothing though. Bianca,
she did spit on her.
Not only spit on her, but she took her wig
down the toilet.
And
that was crazy. Yeah, you're right. It's up for her. It's up for that. I get it.
She was disrespectful.
She was disrespectful
for a beef that wasn't even anything to do with her.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
The beef you're standing up for, they already squashed it.
Right, that's true.
So I would be beefing with Bianca too. Fuck that.
Yeah, because it's like you spit on me and then that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So then the scene carries over, and then we see Biggie with Meatball and Tinkerbella. And I just want to say that their scene was so wholesome.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It felt like a genuine, organic conversation. It was fun. It was bubbly. And it really just felt like you chopping it up with the girls. You know, it didn't feel fake, and staged. Okay, so last night. It really felt like there was some humor in it. There was their own conversations in it. You could tell that they vibe.
At the end of the day, you could feel energy through the screen.
Right.
No matter that the editing and all that, you can't hide energy.
Right.
Ain't no editing. But you felt the energy. That was cool. There was macking.
Yeah, they were cool. That shit was funny. I like to see, how Biggie and Meatball's relationship progresses, because they're still cool. Even after the show, they're still cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it's interesting how she did bring up Jayla and how she felt like Jayla was bullying Biggie.
Yeah.
So that was a very interesting thing. Tinkerbella came out with her two-tone skin.
Yeah.
And she just started talking about her experience, but it was just so funny. I find her so funny.
It was a good scene.
It was a good scene. It was wholesome.
I like these girls.
Yes.
The new girls. It just kind of breaks away from the same girls we see every season.
Right.
And not to mention, can I keep reminding y'all, I don't miss Rolly.
Oh my God, it is so refreshing without her.
So peaceful.
So peaceful. She could stay over there on injured reserve.
And it's mad funny because we saying peaceful and it's the most chaotic episodes we've had in all of Baddies to begin with.
So chaotic.
I cannot stand Rolly and her yelling. Fucking bothers the shit out of me.
It's triggering. It's
triggering.
Yeah, you sound like an abusive mom from the movie Precious. That's literally what you sound like. That's what you sound like. You sound like Precious's mom. The one Monique was playing. You sound abusive as hell.
Yeah, she's
so
it's nice to not have her around.
Right. And then we go into the next scene with Dia, Slim Too Bad, and Diamond the Body. First, it starts off with Dia and Slim Too Bad eating, having a conversation. And then when Diamond walks in, the energy changes.
Yo, you saw
the energy changes.
Slim Too Bad's face. Yo,
Hi. She was so shady with that high.
So
it was like she
shady.
tried to hide it too for the cameras. It seemed like she tried to hide it, but she still couldn't hide it.
Yeah.
I was like,
we both
damn.
peeped it. We're like,
I was like, why'd you say it like that?
Yo, I was like, you see her eyes?
Yeah, I was like, that's shady.
OD.
Like, what beef y'all got?
Right. And then we find out why. Because turns out
they're cool with Tinkerbella.
Yeah.
So, you know, Slim Too Bad brings it up like, that's my bitch. So why did you feel like you needed to do this? And then Dia, oh my goodness, she chimes in and she was pretty aggressive with it. She was just like, yeah, like why? Like
confronted her.
Yeah, they both kind of confronted her. And then Diamond was just like, well, she did this first, so now I'm doing this. And I don't know.
What did you think about Diamond the Body's explanation? Like, I just thought it was stupid.
I just feel like at the end of the day, she's doing it for TV.
Yeah, I guess. It's giving Anne energy when Anne, before she got beat up and got learned her lesson. Like Anne from Baddies South. Because Diamond is just giving
clout chaser.
Yeah, I'm gonna do anything to just be on the right side of things and the right side of things. And even the way, remember, we seen the way she was acting online, standing up for Zeus. It's just giving I'ma suck a lot of dick and it don't matter how bad it looks.
And it's crazy because you did call this
before
the season even dropped.
Yeah.
So now that we're seeing it, it really is just giving more into what you were saying. That's proving your point at this point.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you're willing to bat for a company that you barely know and you know you don't know all these other allegations and you're gonna do that, I can't imagine how you was acting in front of them.
I mean, she clearly snuck Tinkerbella for a ticket. She is basically showing that she is willing to do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. She don't care.
And in no reason. Literally no reason. Because at the end of the day, Tink has every reason to not like Diamond.
Right.
Period. Because she tried to play her.
Right.
And it backfired.
But yeah, you can tell Slim Too Bad and Dia. Slim Too Bad sounds like such a long name. Like, can we get a normal name, please?
Slim.
No, because Slim, there's already a Slim.
That's true.
I don't know, but I feel like it's crazy how her and Dia have beef with Diamond the Body. They don't really fuck with her. They're just being cordial.
Right.
And you can tell.
Do you like Diamond? I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about her yet.
I feel like she's just giving childish energy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really like fond of her. I kind of already knew I wasn't going to be fond of her. Like I said, I've been peeped the internet.
She is giving Anne energy though.
Right. Like it's just like young girl. I'm going to do whatever. Like that Anne, the Anne before she became Anne or
Bianca.
Whatever
her name. Before she changed her name.
Before she got beat up and changed her name.
Right.
Oh my God. But yeah, and then we go into the scene with Biggie FaceTiming Tommy.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
It is funny, especially after she said, believe him, bitch.
Right.
Believe him. Like, clearly they made up over that and they're still cool, obviously. But yeah, just Tommy, she really don't care.
No.
I think she is just made for this shit. She's made for reality TV. She's made for this baddie shit. She really does not care. She's crazy. She's crazy.
She's legit
crazy. She really lives this life.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. She's like, I'm not growing up. I don't care.
Yeah. She said, I tried to grow up and y'all didn't like that.
Right. So now she's just going to come and just fight and that's it. So she decides that, during that FaceTime conversation, she is making her way there. She's gonna have her little appearance. And then I guess they decide to go to the beach bonfire.
Yo.
First of all, the way that they had that fucking scene set up, it looked like an elimination round off of a reality TV show. What was that TV show?
Lost?
No, Lost.
Naked and Afraid?
It looked like a whole elimination round off of Survivor. that reality TV show back in the day. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, the tiki torches, the bonfire, no drink set up, no table, no nothing. It was just sand and tiki torches and just fire.
And Aubrey talking about it's like a Game of Thrones.
No, for real. It really looked like that.
I ain't gonna hold you. What? Aubrey be coming up with the one-liners, bro.
I know.
She funny.
And it's like you wouldn't expect that shit.
No, it's funny.
So funny.
Yeah
I didn't think she would have a lot to say. I thought she would just be quiet and like chill. But no, she really has a lot to say.
It's funny.
But, this is when they decide they're going to introduce these new girls and then replacements?
Yeah.
Replacements.
So first of all, please forgive us if we forget people, because at the end of the day, there's so many. It's so hard to remember them. Okay, so cut us some slack here, but you got Big Kiva,
Big Kiva.
You got Big Kiva, you got J.O., you got Wendeley, you got Jelly Bean, you got Something Heaven, you got Nunu.
Yeah,
and then Callie and Gretch walked out with those girls as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Natalie did what she does best.
Mm-hmm. Instigates.
She said, y'all got to square up. And obviously these girls came in. Oh, you know what I really liked? Yes, there's a lot of bitches. Okay, there is. And it may be a little too much. But it does create content. But what I did like is that they really proved us. They gave what the fans wanted. They brought all these girls
from the auditions.
Yeah. Which is really nice, honestly. Because, again, these girls really put themselves out there and kind of, that's a crazy environment. So the fact that they took the fans' advice or gave them what they wanted. We've been telling them yo, we want to see people from the auditions. Even if it's just one episode, it's still nice to see that all of those girls are not fucking, 16 million followers on Instagram, Hollywood bitches that don't even want to participate. Hi, my name's T.
Can we talk about the Claremont twins how they left?
Yeah.
They were I don't want to celebrate my birthday like this. I can't. I'm done. This is not what I expected from the baddies. We're going to go to Malibu. I was like,
I'm not going to lie to you.
They got so mad.
I was so happy when they was gone. It was like a breath of fresh air.
They did not need to be there. What is your purpose?
A waste. They weren't even funny.
No.
They were dumb, okay? They're dumb. They just sound dumb.
Bitches.
They just sound, I'm sorry. If you're a fan of them, that's fine. But you're only a fan because of their looks. Because they got no personality. And even when they walked off, you can tell by the tone a little bit that they was mad, but their face wasn't showing it because they can't show expressions.
That's true.
She was walking off. One of the twins was walking off talking, saying something. And I'm like, yo, you can't even see the anger in this girl's face. So much
plastic surgery. You can't see shit. They look the same, whether they're upset, happy. It doesn't matter.
You know that movie, My Cinderella Story, that mom that had so much plastic surgery she couldn't even fucking smile. That shit reminds me of them, yo. She really looked like that. They really look like that. It's funny.
That's crazy. Yeah, them walking off, I was laughing. I was like, they really said, this is disrespectful. It's our birthday, and this is what you guys are doing.
You get no candles, nothing, no
cake, no nothing. They really wanted special treatment.
OD.
It's Zeus Network. What did you think?
OD.
They always come on there thinking that they're going to get special treatment because of their name. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
So everything goes left.
Yeah. Okay.
Who starts fighting first? I don't even remember.
Wasn't it Meatball?
Was it Meatball?
I don't even remember, yo. There was so much.
It was a lot.
You couldn't even see who was fighting.
You couldn't. One girl started fighting.
And I know Dia. Was it Dia that or Slip? No, it was Dia. Dia who
from the Bahamas.
Snuck Gretch.
Yes, it was a lot going on. Okay, so there was a brawl, okay?
It was a brawl on the beach.
On the beach. And of course, these replacements, they have a lot to prove. They want to prove that they want to take whoever's in the house, they want to take their spot. They want to be in the house. So of course, this is exactly what Natalie's doing, right? So you're here to fight. This is what you're here to do. So it just turns out into a whole brawl. Apparently, some of the girls, the replacements, had beef with the girls that were chosen to be in the house. And so in the midst of that brawl, we do see, I don't remember her name, but
there were so many.
Dia decides to sneak Gretch.
Oh, the one that went to jail. It was JoJo's or no, I don't know.
It wasn't J.O. It was another girl.
All right, well, the one that went to jail.
A lot of them went to jail.
No, the one that said she got out of jail.
Jelly Bean is the one that said she got out of jail, but Jelly Bean was not the one that jumped in. It was another one. I think it was Nunu. I don't remember her name, but she was light skinned. Jelly Bean is dark skinned. So whatever. There's a lot of girls, so I'm sorry, we don't remember the names. Dia decides to take whatever her issue was and decides to fight Gretch. And so, one of the girls, I don't remember if it's Nunu or not, but she said, all right, she's mad small. I don't appreciate that. And she jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
She jumped in, and then they had their ones, and then she was giving it to her.
She was
giving Dia some 2 pieces, man. I was like, yo, these bitches are different.
She put D on her ass twice.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then it was a lot going on. Bianca started fighting this other girl. I don't remember her name, but she looked like Ari Fletcher. And I was just like, all right, there's a lot going on.
And then
like,
there was this one scene where you see fucking Tink and she got her wig on.
Yeah.
She looking crazy. I'm like, when did that happen?
I don't even know what happened. All of a sudden I see Tink with her wig off. I'm like, how? I don't even know who's who. What is going on?
For real.
And then it was just so much. Then Meatball was fighting, I think, was it Big Kiva? No, it wasn't Big Kiva. It was this other light-skinned girl. I don't remember her name, but Meatball was getting her ass handed to her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold you. That girl was really giving her some mink, 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 mink. Like some 4-hit combos. I was like,
I ain't gonna hold you, though. When I saw Callie fight, bro.
That was crazy.
She fucked that girl up.
That was really crazy.
She kicked her.
And then she gave her one hit. And then
Boom.
that was it. Her nose was bleeding. I was like, oh my gosh. It was a lot going on. And then Mariah, why were you even trying to argue in the first place? Like I feel like Mariah be doing too much. First of all, you snuck Callie.
She's always inserting her in shit that got nothing to do with her. Mariah's always sneaking. I'm kind of... why is she here,
yeah,
bro?
I feel like you serve no purpose at this point.
Literally. Like, why is Mariah in here? Her one-liners suck. She's boring. Like, she's so fucking fake. Like, I would have much rather seen her sister here before Mariah.
I agree. Like, I would rather see her sister before her.
I'm tired of Mariah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why people fuck.
I'm just over her. Like, I'm just like, I guess.
She's boring.
Yeah, she is. Like, I don't know. Your love and hip hop days, they were the past. Like, let's give it up. But whatever, get your bag, I guess. But I don't know. It was wild. It was just whole wild. And then their whole little makeup where they just hugged each other and then Kelly pushed her.
Yo.
I was like, what is going on? Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't even know.
That shit was funny. They really was hesitant and then went in and then push.
Yeah.
It was so weird. So fake.
It was hella fake.
And then Tommy.
Tommy showing up on the horse was top tier entertainment. I was like, wow, this is great. Out of mid chaos, Shorty just show up on a horse. And the horse looks so stressed out. The poor horse.
Don't let me get started with the horse, okay? I'm a big animal lover, okay? And I seen the behind the scenes bullshit that went on with that horse, okay? I'm just like, yes, it's funny. It was funny, random, and so Tommy. But leave the animals out of baddies, please. Yeah. Please. Y'all want to abuse each other? That's one thing, but please leave the fucking animals out of it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It was entertaining, though, if I take away my feelings. You know what I'm saying? It was really funny.
So, yeah, that whole fake beach bonfire scene clearly was a whole front to see the new girls and to set up whatever blind elimination round to see who stays and to see who goes, to see who gets replaced. I'm wondering if Dia's gonna get replaced because she got her ass handed to her. Like, I don't know what's
and
gonna
we
go
can't
on.
forget when Gretch again came out and she was trying to explain herself.
Yeah.
And Jayla again was like,
that's right. You're right. I forgot about that. Gretch was trying to explain herself, but then she ended up saying the N-word again. And then Jayla was like, I'm tired of you. So then they start to square up and fight. I'm like, wow, there is a lot going on.
And I'm not gonna lie, yo, it's crazy to me. Like, yeah, like, okay, feel how you feel about Gretchen saying the N-word. It's just kind of like, you gotta be fucking out of your mind to know how all these bitches feel and still say it.
Yeah, she really didn't care.
You don't care.
At that point, I was like, all right, girl, come on now. You doing a lot. You're doing a lot.
Like
I get it.
The bear.
I get it. You grew up in the hood and like, that's how you grew up. And in Florida at that, of all places. Is she from Tampa? Or wherever from Florida?
I don't know.
But Florida, okay, I get it. But like, girl, like, I don't know. I just feel like, play your cards right, honey. Play your cards right in this house that you're in, this type of environment. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. She didn't give a fuck. I'm not gonna hold you. I like Gretch.
Yeah,
I like her.
I'm gonna say it's kind of funny. Like, it's good. It's good content.
That shit up.
She
That shit up.
She is. It's kind of funny. Like, let's. It's not like, again, like, it'd be different and it wouldn't be funny if she was like saying like real racist shit. But she said it in the context in which she's normally saying it in, and it wasn't derogatory at all. But you know, Jayla feels how she feels, which rightfully so.
Not a lot of people are comfortable with that.
Right.
So,
If that, you know, I listen, knowing how Jayla grew up, knowing her shit, and knowing that she's always been that way, and she's not doing it for a storyline, like, I can't be mad at that. You know, we gotta respect each other and how we, you know, we grew up, right? So like, I get it. If you're triggering Jayla, you know, you're wrong, but it is
Jayla's face
every time.
Say it again. Say it again. When she pulled her hair. You want to say it again? Like, yo, her face.
She gets tight.
Like, yo, why do you look like? I'm too hot for this shit, yo. Oh my God, I'm listening.
Jayla really be getting tight.
Face, yo. I was like, there's no way you made that face.
Like a little girl in LA.
Oh my God, okay.
That's mad funny, yo.
God. Yo, for real. I was like, oh my gosh. But yes, that whole shit was wild. And can we just talk about Gretch wearing sweatpants or the shorts on the beach with a fucking little bra, whatever? She didn't even care. She didn't show up in no cute swimsuit.
Nah.
She already knew what it was. She knew what it was.
Yep.
I was like, damn, yo, this is wild. This is wild.
I mean, but you gotta respect
in a hot ass beach.
No, but you gotta respect that. She really is who she is, and she's
stood
standing
10
on it.
toes on it.
She can't fight. She's small, and she still fight. Like, she's still doing it. Like, she don't care, literally.
So I like Gretch.
Just like Krishan was offensive and said what she said all the time. At least she was true to herself, right? And that's something you can go back on the episodes. I said, listen, Krishan may be a bunch of things, but she's not fake. She is who she is, and we gotta like appreciate the authenticity that we get, right? Because we're quick to criticize people who are fake and hypocritical. So I'm not gonna lie, like, to see Gretchen stand on her own 10 feet, 10 toes, whatever the fuck. So far, I mean, I don't really have an issue with her.
So then as we go into the next episode, we get a trailer and we get a sneak peek for what the next episode is going to bring us. And in that little sneak peek, I'm just very excited because then we see Tommy and Natalie go at it. It looks like Natalie takes the girls on a little nature hike, which I don't know how that's going to go down. And there's probably a fight that breaks out there. Bianca and Sapphire have their little issue. But I think the biggest part, which you just mentioned, is Meatball really standing up for Biggie and standing up to Jayla. Like, I'm really excited to see that. Yeah. Because in that little clip, Meatball's really in Jayla's face and she's just staring at her. Like, I'm just like, this is interesting. I feel like if this was anyone else, you would have popped off already. Right. Or you would have at least, you know, talked your shit back and then hit her.
I guess we'll see though, because you know they're not gonna give us the juicy stuff on the little preview thing. Right. But I am excited to see that because it'll be very interesting to see how Jayla takes it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You want to touch on real quick the intro? I know we didn't comment on this new intro that we had. Do you like it?
I thought we did.
Nah.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm kind of over the CapCut intro. And the little intro, she a body. Like, what are you saying?
It's so funny because, you know, Matt Cash is like, you know, not Caribbean. And him saying body is like weird. Baddie. Right. But like Caribbean accent. Right. But it's coming from Matt Cash.
Right. It doesn't sound right.
Who's not Caribbean at all.
So I'm like, yeah, body. I'm like, what is... I don't know. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the intro's okay. I know you like it. I
like it better than the last one.
I actually didn't mind the last intro song. I just did not like I don't like the whole CapCut look. With the pictures, but I mean, I guess if you have so much girls, it's just like, I guess. But I don't know. I kind of miss seeing the girls walk out and you know, look cute. But I mean, I don't know. It is what it is for the sake of time and I guess editing or whatever. I'm sure it's probably time consuming. So I don't know. Whatever works. I don't know.
But yeah, like it. That's it, right? Like that was it. I mean, do you have anything else to say?
No, I mean, overall, the show's great. I'm excited to see how the storyline progresses. It really feels organic, and I feel like I keep saying that, but like, yeah, like we have new faces, we have new personalities, and a lot of personalities where it's like you have different types of girls coming in and them giving, you know, a shot to other replacements, which, you know, other girls from the auditions, which, you know, we said that we think is very cool because they were never doing that before.
Right. And one thing I do kind of hate about the new, because look, the new season's great. I'm loving it so far. It's crazy to hear people in my life that have never. And I know your life too. We're not going to mention no names, but there are people who are judging us watching it, are now watching it. Right. So it's kind of crazy to see like how big Baddies has become. I'm gonna keep saying that because it blows my mind. But what I hate is that there's so many girls that you forget certain characters, and when you know, like I forgot Tasiki was in the season. Yeah, for a second.
Forgot about Tasiki too.
And then we saw her at the beach, and I was like, oh yeah, Tasiki's here too. Yeah, I forgot about Tasiki. How you forget about Tasiki, right? But it's like crazy because a lot of these girls aren't in every episode now because there's just so many girls. Like Biggie, we didn't see her much in the last episode. You know what I'm saying? And then now she kind of came back or whatever. So it's I mean, it's a love-hate relationship, but it is different. So I do like that instead of having the same fucking Hollywood girls come. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited for the next episodes. And I'm very curious to know what you guys thought about everything we had to say today. I know we touched on some pretty sensitive topics, but I hope you guys, again, speak your opinion with an open mind. You know, we're a podcast. We're not just a commentary channel. We're not a tea channel. You know, we do our thing. So, you know, the point is to have the conversation. We do the hard work. And without y'all, we wouldn't have a conversation. So I'd love to see you in the comments. Share your opinions. Share with the people who, you know, watch Baddies, want to hear what y'all got to say.
Yeah, great. I mean, and with that, I mean, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Rondamania1. You guys can find us on Instagram at the Petty Headquarters. We release episodes every Tuesday at 4 p.m. So tap in. We are on all podcast platforms. Yeah, you can find us on YouTube if you want the visual episodes. So that's Petty Headquarters. So you can easily type that in and it will pop up. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so this was your weekly dose of mess.